MyPillow recently stormed out of an interview, which means it's time for another episode of Pillow Talk.
God gave me this platform. I already know I'm going to win. China did our vote. Biden and Harris would say, hey, we're here to protect the country, and resign. Mike Lindell's a conspiracy. But you haven't. Just forget about the evidence. This was attacked.
MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell sure loves his conspiracy theories. Big lie, of course, about the 2020 election is something that he has spent considerable amount of time and money pushing. However, there seems to be one conspiracy theory group that he does not want to be associated with. QAnon. Oh, fun. So now Lindell, after his 96-hour Thanksgiving fail-a-thon, is traveling the road again to talk about the big lie along with his friend Michael Flynn. Now, they recently stopped to speak to a British documentary crew, and, well, it led to this moment.
What's your opinion on Q?
What is it?
You know what it is at this point.
A group of people that don't like pedophilia? You're asking a stupid question.
You wouldn't even ask that if you were doing an interview. You're here to interview. This is the big lie. It doesn't matter who stands behind us or who doesn't stand. Yeah. The evidence, the truth shall set you free. I think the interview's over. Wasted my time.
Well, why does it need to be offensive?
Because that's the way you all are. That's a joke what you did.
Okay.
Shame on you.
Thank you very much.
On people like you that have hurt our country.
Awesome. That's awesome. Now, before I get to Mike Lindell, I just want to point out the fun. I think the funnest part about this is actually Michael Flynn. So Michael Flynn, the guy's like, "What do you think about Q?" And he's like, "What? I don't. What about Q? I don't know Q. What are you talking about? QAnon. Q what? Q anus? What is that? Some sort of Star Trek thing? Q? I don't know what you're talking about. They don't like pedophiles? I don't know. I don't know what's going on." Oh, you know what it is. He knows what it is because he's only been riding QAnon for years to make money. Again, for those who don't know, this is a group that believes that a satanic cabal of Democrats. Yes, already crazy. Not only the Democrats, but the media, the billionaires, Hollywood celebrities are somehow trafficking children and drinking their blood. And that Trump was put in power by agents of Q, whatever this person is, in order to fight the deep state cabal, and that some have even considered Michael Flynn himself to be Q. And then, and then as a result of Donald Trump being in power, somehow there's going to lead to the storm. That's going to be where Trump does the mass arrests, and he throws them into Gitmo and all that weirdo stuff. Okay. Now, here's the thing. It's all BS. Of course it's BS. And look, Michael Flynn, he knows it's BS. It's complete and utter garbage. And yet, he has ridden off this for money. And he has shown a lot of, and this is a lot of public appearances, by the way, of where he's like going along and giving QAnon signals and taking oaths. He sold QAnon merchandise. He auctioned off a QAnon quilt. And he appeared at a QAnon convention, signed books with a QAnon slogan. And again, some people even think that he's Q. And look, that's, I mean, there's a lot of ties. There's a lot of ties between Michael Flynn and QAnon. And of course, QAnon has a lot of ties with January 6th. There was a lot of QAnon supporters that thought that January 6th was that storm. Okay. And so obviously that was a failure, never happened. I mean, January 6th happened, but the storm did not. There was no storm. Donald Trump lost. He got pushed out of power. I mean, that's it. That's what happened. And yet, afterwards, Michael Flynn and QAnon kept going and buying into, what is it? The election fraud conspiracy championed by Mike Lindell. And so that right there, that's a correlation. They're all connected in this way because I think, well, the deep state forced, forced Trump out of power by rigging the election against Donald Trump for Joe Biden. And so in order to keep Joe Biden in power and to stop QAnon and the storm from happening. And so, again, just imagine somebody like, this is like Glenn Beck scribbling on a whiteboard for like a half hour with little weirdo pictures of people of like, oh, this, we got Hillary Clinton over here, and then we got this over here, and we got Jeffrey Epstein over here. Oh, and yeah, we got all that stuff going on here, and there's a definite correlation with all of this stuff and QAnon. No. Now, it gets a little more serious than just making fun of them, though. Because on Memorial Day weekend, and this was according to a report from The Intercept, Flynn had headlined a Q-themed conference in Dallas where he had endorsed a Myanmar-style military coup aimed at reinstating Donald Trump as president, to which, of course, he later on backtracked massively. So all of that context is to basically illustrate how, Michael Flynn has been lying about QAnon, his ties to QAnon, how he feels about QAnon, and not just to QAnon, but also to everyone else, and then lies about QAnon to QAnon. So there's lying everywhere. There's so much grifting going on. But here's the thing. Michael Flynn has been exposed. And we know that. Because here you had his former Q buddy, Lynn Wood, big old friends in the QAnon movement. They had a fight over Kyle Rittenhouse, which of course led to this video of Michael Flynn basically saying, "Oh, QAnon, it's garbage." Take a look.
I'm tired of these QAnon people attacking me.
Maybe, I don't know that.
Yeah, but you know some of them.
I think it's a disinformation campaign. I think it's a disinformation campaign that the CIA created. That's what I believe. Now, I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I think it is. I think it's a disinformation campaign. It's actually a very interesting article today out that was sent to me. I'll send it to you about how the QAnon movement has failed and all that. But I find it total nonsense, and I think it's a disinformation campaign created by the left, and the types of people that can create something like that are the kinds of people that we train for certain with certain skills in the CIA.
I'm aware that the CIA does it.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm aware the CIA does programs where they'll give you 75% of the truth and then wrap it in a package that makes you look crazy to demean the truth they gave you.
Oh, I never get tired of playing that video. So, look, again, the QAnon, the thing that I profited off for so long, turns out that's a CIA op. Now, how does Mike Pillow fit in? Well, again, as I mentioned, there's a tie between the election fraud stuff, the lie, to QAnon. And so it's again, one of those connections here that they have. The whole idea that the deep state and the so-called, pedophile cabal, basically the same thing, okay? And the idea of the coming storm and the reinstatement of Trump and all the rightful American leaders, again, same thing, same concept, different language. Now, I don't know if Mike Pillow's smart enough to realize that there's a connection here, or is just barely smart enough to realize I don't want to be associated with this because I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm already down my own hole, thank you. So I don't know. Whatever you believe, the reaction kind of says it all. He does not want to talk about QAnon, doesn't want to be associated with QAnon. He doesn't want to hitch himself to that wagon, and neither does anyone else. And maybe it's because Michael Flynn's like, realize this is all just a grift, right? Or, oh no, maybe he does believe from Michael Flynn that, oh, the QAnon disinformation campaign for the left. But then again, if that's what he believed, then why didn't he say so on camera? Oh, I don't believe in QAnon. I think they're wackadoos. Whatever. I don't know. I don't necessarily know. But all I know is that he doesn't want to get involved with QAnon, at least publicly, and that does say something. I think this might be the beginning of the end for the mainstreaming of QAnon. Of course, it'll probably exist. It'll change names. It'll go to a different conspiracy, whatever. But I think this is close to the end of being the mainstream power of QAnon. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.